Canadian record holder in the 400 for his event.
Bands on bands, so much crossing over. This a team up. 604 the Cali on my head.
Holder David Johnson. What it's like to actually be blind, whether you saw darkness or pitch black or what you actually see. So David,
weigh in, please.
We've been waiting to ask you this question.
Perfect.
Welcome back. Reality check. Yes, sir. Listen, man. We got David Johnson in the building.
Yeah, I feel like I gotta do something. I don't know what to do, but I gotta do something.
Hit it with it, Charles.
Reality check in the house. We are in the house right now. We are here.
No, I gotta love you over that.
I can't see.
Yo, it's VT in the building. You know what's good. We got David Johnson.
Yes, sir.
And we got, you already know,
Xay Dryz. Come on, man. I'm gassed for this episode, man. I'm
excited for this episode. We have David Johnson is a blind athlete, but before we even get there, man's a Canadian record holder in the 400 for his event. Tell him your time. What's your time?
Talk to me nice.
Nicely.
Oh, yeah.
What's your time?
51:57 for 400, 11:45 for the 100.
With what percentage of vision?
3%. 3% vision left.
3%.
Yeah. I guess you don't know my vision. So it's like, I tell people it's like looking through a straw. So looking at you right now, I just see kind of like your eye, like most of your glasses, like one lens. Yeah. Because I can't see stuff from the side or above or below. And then it's like wearing a pair of sunglasses. So like in here it's kind of like dimly lit. It's a little hard for me to see, so at nighttime I can't see anything. But for track, it works all right because I just like looking through a straw, so I kind of just follow the line.
I see. So it's literally like horse blockers, kind of.
Yeah. So the crazy thing is, I don't know if y'all remember, but there was an episode where we talked about what it's like to actually be blind, whether you saw darkness or pitch black or what you actually see. So David, we were talking about you on that pod.
Okay.
And
weigh in, please.
We've been waiting to ask you this question.
Okay.
And I know we've talked about it before, and I couldn't exactly place like what exactly how you described it, because the way you described it, just like that's your own experience. So two things. What do you see or don't see? What is it? Is it like dark? Is it black? Is it nothing? And then also, how does that translate into dreams?
Oh yeah, I get the dream question a lot. So I say it's like looking through a straw.
Yeah.
But there's not black around. It's how you can't see behind your head. There's not like a physical cutoff point where it's black. There's just nothing there. I know it's kind of trippy to think about.
What?
Yeah. But for me, it's the same thing, except it's just way smaller, super small. So like, where I'm moving my hand, like I can't see my hand.
So like, wait, no. So like.
That's crazy.
I know it's a lot to wrap your head around.
So, I have to ask this question because like, okay, so it's like seeing through a straw, right? So you can see like a tiny circle, let's say. Yeah. Everything around that circle you can't see. So everything around that circle you're saying is not a color. It's just like,
it's just physically not there. How like you can't see behind your head right now. It's not a color, right? There's just nothing there. It's just not there. So it's the same thing, except smaller.
What?
Now imagine I told you that you just took a toke, and I just told you that. I think you'd be gone. I think you'd disintegrate. I don't think.
Bro, I'm already disintegrated, bro.
It's pretty mad because you gotta think, because when was the first time you were a kid when you found out you were diagnosed with the degenerative what was it, damage? You lose eyesight over time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say degenerative eye condition. It's called retinitis pigmentosa. So it's a bit of a mouthful, but
So you never used to have it?
No, I had it ever like when I was born. I had it, but I didn't know because
why did you didn't know
you're born into a situation with like my eyes. I didn't have anything to compare it to, right?
Oh yeah, you're right.
So it's just like that's just how it was always for me. Like I didn't have it slowly got worse. So that's why it took a while. I didn't find out till I was 8.
Dang. So that circle that you can see used to be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I say it was like when I was diagnosed at 8. I say it was like looking through a toilet paper roll. So a little bigger, and then essentially kind of just shrinks.
Damn.
Over time. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's pretty wild.
That's wild.
So that would be wild, but it's crazier that David also you have diabetes.
Yeah.
Really?
I got type 1 diabetes. Yeah. So I know those Tostitos lime chips.
Tostitos lime, yo.
Before the setup here, probably wasn't the best thing, but
yo, the Tostitos.
I couldn't resist,
bro.
Hey, shout out Tostitos, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, if y'all want to sponsor us, come on.
Yeah.
Nah.
Look, Tostitos lime cures blindness.
But what's
spoke right here.
Not good for diabetes, but
no. But the thing that's crazy to me is that this guy is running,
bro,
with 3% eyesight.
Diabetes,
diabetes,
so
running.
You have to know like what to put in your body, when to put in your body, your levels.
Yeah.
I saw your documentary that you put out recently. And you were saying like a whole race day, a really big race.
Yeah.
And you felt like complete doo-doo.
Yeah.
Just because your levels were all out of
wow.
So go through like how do you mentally prepare for that? Like how do you come out of that? I know we've talked about this before, and I saw it in your documentary. But like, how do you process that?
Yeah, it's hard because it's like I always say like diabetes is more annoying than anything else because you just got to be on top of it. You got to be checking your blood sugar. You got to be eating the right things. And when I'm at home, it's not that bad because I'm in a routine, right? Like everything's happening at the same time, and it's easy to manage. But when I travel, I think Vaughn's talking about this race I had in Paris. In Paris, they love their carbs, right?
Yeah.
Croissants and all that.
Bread.
Yeah, bread, right? And then so it was croissants. And it got hard for me to like switch it up too, and there's a big time difference, 8 hours from here. 8-9 hours I think. So it's it was like night and day, kind of switched. The food switched, and I had some big races. I was qualifying for the Commonwealth Games. I ended up going, but these 2 races I had in Paris just didn't go because I couldn't get my blood sugar under control.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. That's so crazy, and it just like messes up your entire day, ain't it?
Yeah, you feel. There's 2 problems you can have. Your blood sugar can be too high or too low. And so like when it's too high, it means like you're not giving yourself enough insulin, and then you just you're really thirsty. You feel tired, kind of like dry mouth. You just don't feel kind of like yourself. But there's no kind of like immediate danger. You just won't perform at your best. But if your blood sugar is too low, you get nauseous. You can like start throwing up. Oh, wow. And like if you don't get help, you got to go to the hospital and you'll go unconscious. Oh wow. Yeah, so too low is scary. Too high, you can kind of you can manage a little better.
Wow. So too low is actually like more dangerous, you would say.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
So you really have to be on top of it, eh?
Yeah.
My question is like at what age do they normally say a person would die? Because if it's a kid, then their parents is probably, or like whoever's taking care of them is probably the one on top of it. What age do you start doing it yourself?
See, because diabetes is new to me. I'm 23 and I got it when I was 18.
Oh.
So most people get type 1 when they're a kid. So I never so that's the weird thing for me because like it seems not that long ago when I was in that.
Dude, I totally thought you had diabetes like way before 18.
Yeah, no, I was 18, so it didn't seem that long ago when I was in high school that I would like I was just chilling like you guys, right? Like I just eat whatever, wouldn't even think about it.
Yeah.
So that's I don't really know. Like to me, it was always like I was pretty much an adult when I got it, so I had to like just zone in right away.
Nah, see, because
that's different.
Bro.
So we talking about mentality, obstacles, perseverance, determination. We're talking about pivoting. We've talked about so many things on this pod. in our reaction videos. If you've been with us for a while, you know the mentality. But we literally have a representation of all those things put together, because not all those things you just heard, Mans is still pushing out documentaries.
Literally.
Mans still the fastest in his class for his event. Mans is literally like, what do you have? Over 200,000 on TikTok.
Insult me. 390,000.
I wouldn't say it.
No. This is why. Hey, I don't know how to answer that question, because people lowball me and I know the number, but I don't want to seem like.
Dude, you have to say it. You have to flex.
No, actually, right now, put all your handles out for everything right now. Right now.
My only handle is Blind Hipster Dave.
Hey.
Everything. Blind Hipster Dave on everything. Go check him out right now.
On everything.
He's a boss.
Nah, that's actually so crazy. Like that's as you said, perseverance and like determination. Like that. Like this whole situation is so crazy to me, because it's like, I feel like it would be so easy for somebody in that situation to get extremely discouraged and not want to do a single thing. And this guy's out here just doing the most.
Yeah.
Like, respect for that.
I appreciate that.
I do. Yeah. I'm dapping you up. So I gotta tell him.
Bro, I missed it earlier.
I was like, yeah, my hands up, Dave. He's like,
Bro.
But no, like, I really commend it, because from someone who actually sees the work you put in beside you day in, day out, bro, man grinds. I'm like, Dave, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm taking a video of a day in the life. I'm like, bro, that's mad.
So
He's
sick.
always working, always putting out content. And the thing I love about your content is that you embrace your disability.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you embrace it, and then you process that through your own way of, whether it was your coping when you were younger, or however you manage all this news, but you push it out in the best way David Johnson knows how, which is comedy and humor, and I love it, bro. It's brilliant.
I appreciate that.
It's brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard for Halloween you did a Daredevil costume, bro. That's actually so blessed, bro. When I heard that, I was like,
Were you Matt Murdock?
Yeah, I was Matt Murdock. I got a funny story. So I dressed up as Matt Murdock for Halloween. Yeah. And what I say is, for most people to do that costume, the hardest thing is getting a blind stick, a cane, right?
Yeah. But you have one.
I got like a dozen. That's light. The hard part for me was getting the glasses.
Dang.
The little red sunglasses. But I got them off Amazon, and then I posted a TikTok, I think like a few days before Halloween, and it blew up. It got like 7-8 million views.
Yeah.
And
it blew up. I saw that video. That was crazy. Yeah.
And then I went out for Halloween weekend, and everyone, a bunch of people were like recognizing me
from the video.
From the video, but then like when I go out, a lot of people recognize me and stuff, but because when I'm in the club, I can't see anything because it's like wearing a pair of sunglasses, so people like shake me and stuff, be like, yo, and I'm like, it's super disorientating. Yeah. Because I can't see, I can't hear. I say I'm like Helen Keller.
That's so weird, bro.
Yeah.
Imagine somebody just coming to
yo. Dog, I'd be like trying to swing, like
yeah, it can be a little disorientating, but
dude,
man's already a celebrity, bro. If you're in Victoria, if you see this man going down the street,
local blind guy, I don't know what to say.
Look, so I have I have a little deep question, right?
Okay, yeah, we get deep
because as I was saying before, I think it would be very easy to feel depressed / discouraged at things like this, right? So I want to ask if you could. I don't even know. You might have just been like this, been that guy the whole time. But was there ever a time when you were like you had to go through that stage of like dealing with it and then come out the other side of like, okay, let me embrace it? Yeah,
no, totally. Yeah, like definitely. I kind of like went through stages with it. Like when I was a kid at 8 years old, it wasn't. I didn't understand. I couldn't really like understand what was happening because you're a kid. You're focused on kid things, like you're playing,
going outside.
Yeah, going outside. You're playing sports at recess. Like you're not really like thinking about the future. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that kind of went on like my whole kind of like adolescent life. Yeah. And then when I was a teenager, I was like 15, 16. then it got harder because like I started to get a part-time job. I worked at a grocery store. Like that was hard to interact and like with people. And then like dating too. You start dating and one like you I don't know what I'm doing anyway.
Yeah.
But I can't see. So it's like when I was dating like one of my first girlfriends, it was hard for me because like as a boyfriend you want to be the one to like protect her, take care of her, right?
That's
but
crazy.
I would
think about that.
Yeah, and I would feel
that's
less
deep.
Yeah, like less important.
Yeah.
Or in certain situations like at nighttime because I can't see, and she'd be the one guiding me around, and I'm like I should be the one doing that. You know, so you go through like stages of it, and like even now like I'm not perfect now. Like I still have like days like that or feelings come up, and I use my cane all the time, but sometimes like I'll just be like like I don't want it today. I want to go to the store like by myself without the cane, without the stick, and whether it's for good or worse, but
So like why would you say, like I'm just thinking in my head like why would you say you try to challenge yourself on just going without the cane? Is that something that's coming from I don't want to deal with people looking or asking questions, or is it just more of like you are using the eyesight you have left to actually use your eyes and maneuver and still be an independent person, or is it something completely different? Like what is it for you that
I think it's a little bit of like other people's reactions, because like I know when I'm like walking around with my cane, people are staring at me. Everyone's looking at me. Like it can be a lot sometimes, and I find it like it takes a lot of mental energy to just like to like not think about that, to not
know
care
that people are looking.
And most of the time like I'm all right with it and like stuff, but sometimes you're just drained. You don't want to deal with it. You just want to blend in. And obviously like but like there's times where I need it, you know what I mean? Like I need to take it no matter what, but there's certain times where it's like, okay, well I can kind of manage without, and I want it, so I think just going with that. And but yeah,
that's nice.
Dang. Are there certain things that you like actually can't do, or like I imagine swimming would be difficult, but like you could probably do it.
I'm ass at swimming anyway. I'm so bad, but like driving.
Oh,
like yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But give me the keys after. We'll do a little spin. I'll show you I can drive, because that's.
I mean, it wouldn't be my car. I'm not even from Victoria. You know? I'm not.
Can you drive manual?
Dominic Toretto.
I can figure it out.
It's not what I want to hear. I need to hear a no.
I need to hear a no. Bro.
But yeah, like there's obviously things like that I can't do, like drive. But I'd say like my overall mindset is like if I want to do something, I'm gonna find a way to do it.
Bro,
say it again, please.
If I want to do something, I'm gonna find a way to do it. You know, like whatever I want to do, I'm gonna put my mind to. Yeah.
I know that's right. That's blessed, because that attitude approach is what successful people have on lock.
Facts.
On lock. Like being able to be like, I want to learn, and at no cost, nothing's gonna stop me from actually, boom, I want to learn this, I want to attain this, I want to be able to this.
And like to that too, I think we were talking about this earlier off pod, but like we were talking about how for discipline or for motivation or whatever in that conversation, your why is so important, like why you're doing something. Right? But then I brought up the point that I feel like sometimes people's why, or like what they select as their reason for doing things, like it might be noble, but it just might not be enough to actually get them out of bed all the time. Like it might just be like too weak of a why. But in this context, I mean, some people might say it's a little like iffy, but like I feel like proving people wrong is like such a powerful Why, bro? Like,
yeah.
Like some people might say it's because you have to tap into that little like aggressive energy kind of sometimes. But like, I just feel like even I heard on what's that show? What's LeBron's talk show or not talk show?
The
barbershop.
Yeah.
With Donald Glover.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about like sometimes like even how LeBron some games like if he's not feeling it or whatever he'll just look for a LeBron hater and like as soon as he finds one it's like 50 points for you today, you know what I'm saying? Like he literally taps into that energy sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Fuel to the fire.
Like even if it's a home game and everybody's like on his team, he'll look for that one, like, you know what I'm saying?
Dude.
So I feel like I don't know, like,
bro, the best in the world are able to take any energy and put it into their own energy, bro. The best in the world are able to just take an energy, like take that to themselves, process it, and put it into any direction they want. That's control. That right there, and I feel like Kobe had it.
Oh my God.
MJ had it, bro. Like these are great. Like Usain Bolt, just you know what I'm talking about. Like the attributes it takes to be considered an elite. I feel like starts right here.
Bro, I want to ask this too for both of y'all because you're literally track athletes, right? Because I did track like in high school, but like I'm not a track athlete, right? But I was watching this video on Usain Bolt, right? And like it makes sense, but it's one of those things where you just don't like it doesn't register until you actually hear it. Whereas like obviously he works hard to gain that speed, right? Obviously he trains really hard, but like I literally watched this video where they're explaining like this guy in training will like throw up like at least 3 times. Like he's pushing it like in practice. Like he's pushing himself. So it's like I just want to know from, I mean this can be in general too, but like since you're both track athletes, like what are some, I don't want to say misconceptions, but like what is the difference between what people would assume goes on behind the scenes in terms of like working on yourself and like working on your physical ability and like how actually is it for real?
Do you want to start on that?
Well, yeah, one thing that I thought of was I feel like this is more for like para athletics, like athletes with a disability.
I've been meaning to ask you, like, take us into that world a bit more.
Yeah, so I feel like the common like public kind of how they see it is that it's a smaller talent pool, which it is. There's less people with disabilities than athletes without disabilities, and that it's easier in a sense. And what I kind of like say to that is that it's all the off track things. You got to think about all the other blind people that are like my age and stuff. Like for me, just like to go to the grocery store is hard. For me to like to live on my own is way harder than a lot of other people. And then you have to do all these things. Like these are kind of the building blocks of the pyramid that you need to be a high performance professional athlete. You need these things, and for athletes with a disability, it's a lot harder to get those building blocks. Yeah.
Wow.
Spitting, bro.
Wow. That's actually such a
Spitting, bro.
All the off tracks.
Spitting. Yeah. Spitting.
Because like I know a lot of blind people. And I know a lot of like athletes that are blind too, and just athletes with disabilities in general. And the ones that are the best off are the athletes, and the other ones they struggle. You know, like they're in poverty. They struggle to be independent, to do things on their own. And I think that like that's the hardest part, is gaining those skills as an athlete with a disability to be successful. The training's fun. Training's fun. Like that's the easy part. You know what I mean? Throwing up on the track, that's the easy part.
Damn.
But all the other stuff
with the coaches and all that. Right?
Yeah, like gaining your confidence, like being that person with the disability, accepting that's the hard part.
Wow. So I was gonna ask you now, in terms of what you do, what do you think would be some common misconceptions of, oh, it's probably like this versus how it actually is? in terms of training?
In terms of training, like just the act of training, or like
more. I mean, not really
the of training, or like the
just
actual
behind
pursuit.
the behind the scenes. Yeah.
Training 6 to 7 days a week. Is a lot of what David said. Like, I would not make it to the 7th day in the 4th week if I didn't recover properly outside of practice.
Because I always see, like, one of the things that I noticed straight away about you is that you were always like doing some type of recovery method, some type of, like, either the chambers on your legs or whatever. Like, I always see that.
The Normatech.
Yeah.
Hey, that thing is ass. The chambers. I'm gonna start calling it
bro.
The chambers.
They're chambers, bro.
Chambers.
That's what they look like.
The VT chambers.
Bro, literally, because in university I made like a hyperbaric chamber. So like when I saw them, I was like, that's literally what it is. That's crazy.
Wow. Okay. So y'all. So Xay is an inventor, creator of things.
Alright, chill, bro.
Okay, so he's 3D printed some mad stuff. So he'll just throw out random things he's created.
You gonna make me some new eyes or what? New eyes, boy, or what?
Bro, Tony Stark, bro. Yeah. Hey, look, listen, I might have to get on that.
Yeah,
you're a fresh ball of balls. Pause.
Mad.
Dead, bro.
But yeah, like so I guess you're saying that most of it is recovery.
Yeah. Well, so it is the idea of, like, if you're gonna work hard or pursue something, or even, so I didn't finish that thought, but pursue something higher than yourself or out of your reach for now, or even completely forget about aspirations. And if you were to do something that is, say, requires any effort from you, whether if you're doing it at a high level, you have your downs is going to be that deep to accommodate for how high you're going. So when you're putting in that much work, your recovery has to be that much better.
Bro, just on that point, I'm going to come back to you just because I need you to keep going. But just on that point, I heard this, I saw this video.
Yeah.
Basically what you just said, but they were basically saying, like, there's a lot of people that are scared of the extremities of, like, highs and lows in general, because they're like, I don't want my life to be so volatile. I just want it to be, like, calm and nice and even. And, like, just everything is, like, generally, like, the same all the way through, so I can just, everything's together and everything's calm. But then the person was like, if you go into the ER and they look at your heart rate, if your heart is not doing anything and it's flatline, that means you're dead. So, like, the highs and lows are actually, like, what it means to be, like, that's literally life.
Yes, and I'll build on that by saying something I also heard on that topic is, once you get to a point where your perception of good and bad no longer exists in your life, there is no highs or lows.
Wow.
It's like waves on a beach. They come and go.
Yeah, because you heard the story of the farmer.
Yeah.
The story of the farmer. Yeah. I don't know if you heard of it, but, like, essentially the moral of the story is a farmer that has a son. He has a horse.
Oh yeah, I've heard this.
Goes out, comes back. I don't know if it's good or bad. We'll see what happens. The town people kind of are a symbolism for the rest of the world, or
like
even
society,
just our own psychological, like, that high and low perspective, where it's just like, oh, that's so good. Your horse left and now it's came back with 3 new horses. He's like, I don't know if it's good or bad. You know, his son falls off one of the wild horses, breaks his back. I don't know if it's good or bad.
Yeah, and see, that's I have that same attitude with me with being blind.
Wow.
Because
nah, we get in there today. We get in there today.
I just think of, like, all the opportunity, like the track opportunity I have to travel the world, do this, like, the social media stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like it put me in check as I was a kid having to deal with an adult issue. And it grows you up quick. It teaches you a lot, and I'm grateful for that.
No, because I've heard that from so many people.
Yeah.
Where it's like, some of the most mature people. Actually, it's a two-edged sword because you can either become mature from it, or you can just develop some psychological issues from it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say this, where it's like it grows you up differently.
Yeah.
If you've been put in a situation where you're a kid and you have to deal with an adult problem or problems, plural.
Yes.
It's different. It's different.
It is different.
Yeah.
It is different.
Yeah. That's so crazy.
I've kind of started thinking of life as like track and field and racing in a way, in the sense that this whole journey of life is, the Bible talks about like the race is not for the swift, nor the battle for the strong, but those who endure. So for me, in my mind, I'm like, I had an epiphany where I'm like, oh, I'm not racing against anybody else but myself. Like when I'm competing, it's literally just me and the clock. No matter the race I'm in, I could be at some meet just to show up and there's kids sign autographs for kids. That's cool. Or it could be the games. It doesn't change.
The games. The games. Stop playing.
Yes, bro.
No, but like, and then even just talking about that, like the mind state, we were just talking off camera just now, and he was like, sometimes to even for practice, to like, if he knows he has a hard day, he has to lock in the day before. I don't know if you have to do that, but like, so that's like, because I know about that a little bit, but like that's a whole different like level, because usually, like for example, if I have a basketball game, I'll like lock in but like 30 minutes before the game or whatever. A day before is like that's serious. Like
because you gotta think, like the day before a race or event or anything in track and field, you kind of preparing for the day. So just in the days leading up to it, you're tapering, which means essentially you're cutting back on the load that you usually would do in practice or in your program or workouts, and actually allowing your body to come back to a place where you can actually pop off. So in doing that, you're actually preparing your physical body. But I feel like if you're someone that either uses like a distraction, I feel like these are the two biggest ones, either a distraction or uses the meet coming up as a preparation or a tool for fuel to prepare, then certain athletes do different things. But yeah, it's smart to mentally prepare yourself, because anybody can show up on the day and be ranked first and show up that morning instead of yesterday.
Ooh.
So
yeah, it only matters on day of.
That's it.
Doesn't matter about all the days before.
That's such a crazy graphic to have. Like, you're showing up on the day and then your opponent has showed up since yesterday, bro. Bro.
But then think about this. The best, the elite, stretch that for 4 years.
No, stop it, bro. That's bro.
Yeah,
bro. And he said something else off camera too, which I wanna ask again, just because I want to get your input now.
Okay, bet.
So what are some of the methods that you use to lock in? So you were saying like turning your phone off is one.
Yeah, I was saying like the night before, like turning my phone off. For me, it's like not hanging out with certain people the night before. Like I certain people like that distract me from what I need to focus on, or bring my energy in a certain way. Music, breathing, those really just kind of dial me in.
Yeah.
So what about you?
For me personally, the day before a race is very interesting for me. I eat like more carbs than probably a typical day. Kind of carb loading.
Need the fuel.
It's very, very easy, like very chill. Like I literally go about my day as normal. But I feel like the mental checks that I do is complete visualization. And it's not like I do it on purpose. Like I will literally, my brain will be, I'll be driving and I'm coming out, the gun just went off and I'm going through my race plan in my head.
Wow.
like that's sort of my like go-to is visualization. So for me, 400 Commonwealth Games, that was like, I popped off. I was second last.
Dang.
I finished second first.
Dang.
And yeah, that was a whole other story. But I literally walked 400 meters and placed mental markers in the track. Nobody was there. The stadium was dead. Dead.
Wow.
And I
went there first.
I was just there, like the day before. Doing my race prep, and I was walking the 400 meter track, placing, okay, I'm drive, transition. Okay, maintain, push.
Wow, so you just walked it.
Yeah.
And you just like, okay,
meters.
this is what I'm going to do right here. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 and you just walk. Wow.
Yeah, and I visualized myself, what it would feel like, dude.
Bro, can you imagine if you could apply that to like life or just goals in general? Like show up before, not even just the term show up before, but like if you like imagine having a goal and finding a way to like almost like theoretically walking the track. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like finding a way to like without it affecting anything, so like without it actually you putting the actual work in first, or without you like making it go live and making people see what you're doing or whatever, finding a way to just like visualize what you're gonna do, find a way to like, okay, I'm gonna do this here, and then do it.
Yeah. So something you touched on right there, which is like amazing, is preparation is crazy. Like, for example, let's take it out of like the sense of like, there's other things I do too. Like I have a hot shower. I try to like put my body in a relaxation kind of state before I like stretch, all that kind of thing. Make everything make sure I'm just feeling good. But if we took it out of like a track and field sense and just put performance.
Yeah.
If you know, like, you're going to bed and the next day you have X. Going through a list of things that you need to do or want to get done the next day, like it could be like 5 to 6 things. Yeah. That you absolutely want or need to get done the next day, and you read it over the night before you go to bed. Bro, you can't tell me you won't remember. You can't tell me the next day you won't see things that now you've like told your brain that you need to look out for. Wow. You can't tell me you wouldn't see things differently. So like you do that 30 days in, 60 days in, you've just changed an entire trajectory of now what your brain looks for day to day.
And what I always say for preparation, this kind of a track sense, but I think you apply this to a lot more, is I look at it like a pyramid. And you need this pyramid to get what you want. And at the bottom you have like your basic kind of needs, like shelter, food, hydration, that, and then maybe the next stop is like comfort, relationships, this and that. Yeah. And then you need these at the bottom, and then you need this layer, and then you need this layer, and once you have that, you can do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was just actually on that point, I was just saying to Xay recently how off camera, how it's incredible to get to a point where all you have to do is put in work. Poof. That's a magical place to be.
Yes.
You're no longer looking for a purpose. You're no longer looking for drive. You're no longer looking for motivation. Well, everything you have, all the puzzle pieces are in your hand, and all you have to do is work, is a magical place to be.
All you have to do is put it together. That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. Because like even, and this is like, even practically, right? I find myself like 90% of the time when I procrastinate is because I don't exactly know what I have to do. So it's like I know I'm gonna have to figure it out, and the thought of me having to figure out is exhausting. So I'm like, I'm not gonna do it right now. Subconsciously, that's like how my procrastination starts. Like any time where I'm like, I know exactly what I need to do, and all I have to do is do it, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. Like not like most of the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like I think that's such a crazy, like if you can get to the point in life where it's like, okay, I have a goal, and I'm actually at the point now where I have the resources. I know how to do it. Yes. I have like the mental capacity to do it, and literally all I have to do is actually just execute. That's insane. That's insane.
Yes.
And even just the knowledge of that fact, like, okay, I have all the puzzle pieces right now. Just you understanding that is insane, bro.
Yes.
That's insane.
Bro. And that's why I say it's a magical moment, because you in yourself have to realize that you've gotten to a point where you're like, oh, I'm not looking for anything outside anymore. I have it.
Dude, okay, listen. This is completely sidetracked, but like it's kind of on.
Go ahead.
I was talking to somebody the other day.
Yeah.
And they were telling me basically that they like admire my confidence.
Oh wow.
And I was like, that is.
I know that's a big one.
You don't even know how I felt in that moment, bro. Because you know how I was before. Bro, I was never confident, bro. Never, bro. I was never confident. Bro, and I worked on myself to the point where like...
Fake it till you make it.
I mean, and I'm not even the most confident person in the world right now still. But just that fact to where... And I was telling this person too that like I can feel the difference too. Like it's not even one of those situations where you get used to it and then you forget like how it was before. Not like I literally can remember exactly how it was, and it's day and night, bro. Like it's insane. Like sometimes I'll be like, dude, like I'm actually like that right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, and not to be like, but like that's insane, bro.
Yes.
Just to have that, like,
yes,
you know what I mean? And like and also it for me personally, it propels me to do stuff that I probably wouldn't have done before. So like even like in terms of music, me, and I tell people this all the time, 4 or 5 years ago, if you told me that I would be voluntarily putting my face in front of a camera for people to see, I would laugh.
Yes.
Because that's like, I'm an introvert, bro. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it can go into the conversation of like, remember where you're coming from, because that's half of it. Because the whole reason why like I'm so appreciative is because I literally am incapable of forgetting how it felt to not be confident.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
But then the other half is literally like it just pays to work on yourself, bro.
It does.
It does, bro.
It really does.
It actually does, bro.
It does. And the thing that's crazy to me is like from you to you, David, like it's like we all go through our own struggle. Like we all have our own walk to walk, and I feel like this is like another reminder of like you see somebody or you're cool and everything's fine, but like you don't know how they got there. You don't know like every single story that made up that person's whole existence in that moment. So like it's hard to like look at somebody and be like, oh, like that's a blind athlete, David, and obviously there's the accolades that come with it. Like you're a superstar. There's no doubt about it. But then what makes you a real superstar is really what you've done to get to the point where people can say those accolades, and you know the work you put into yourself to get there.
Yeah, that's true. Like you know where you're coming from.
Yes.
Like I know where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
You vice versa.
Bro.